Hello and welcome to the Open Book channel, where I talk about anything and everything writerly, very, very honestly. My name is Lady Valheim, your designated open book. Today, I wanted to share in a bit of a more personal topic, related to being a writer and an artist, and how in both of those areas, I've learned to never help a fellow creative for free. Which is sad, and I don't want to tell you not to be a kind person and help your peers. I just want to share my experience so you can get another side from what the usual story is here. When it comes to creating and interacting with other people, specifically for services or art pieces, the thing you're most often warned about is strangers commissioning you but then refusing to pay for your time and effort. But what if the opposite? If it's not a stranger refusing payment, but instead it's your friend whom you did something for free under the only expectation that you're helping them. But then, everything you've done feels wasted because they never use that help. We all know how lonely it can be as a creator sometimes. You write a book alone, you paint a picture alone. There's not a whole lot of opportunities to share and interact with your peers until you're already done making your piece, and then you can share that with them. But in those special middle areas where a second eye is needed or a little help can be offered, I've come to realize how important it is to be reserved as the one helping. I've been given a 40,000 word manuscript by a friend that needed a boost through a beta read. But of course, I wasn't just going to beta read their story, I peer edited it, offering developmental edits as well as line edits. I poured a week of my time into getting my suggestions back to them as quickly as possible because my friend had verbalized that they needed some motivation to get back into writing, and I wanted to be that boost. So I sent them my edits, and then I heard nothing. A couple months went by. I gently prodded them, asking about whether they'd want to change this or that about their story, but they hadn't touched it. They never again touched it, as far as I know. The thing is, when a client tries to back out of a commission, that's one thing. You're mad that you've lost a sale, but mostly you're upset that you put all your time and effort into something that isn't valued. It sucks, but it's just a stranger, so you can't really take it to heart. But it's almost worse when it's a friend you're doing a favor for. At least to me, it feels like it's worse. You did something as a labor of love. You don't expect anything from them, you just really wanted to help them see their project to the end. So how are you supposed to feel when, after you put in all that effort, they just don't use it, drop the project, and never look at it again? It shouldn't feel personal because it's their thing. They can move on and not want to complete something, right? But it's impossible in the case of the helpee not to feel like your time has gone unvalued. If there was a chance that my friend was never going to see the project through, shouldn't they have had the consideration not to enlist my assistance on it then? Because that's what stung me the most. I'm not sharing this experience to go, woe is me, my peers don't value my time. Actually, I'm here to try and save the feelings of others like me that are all too eager to help. Because you can be too eager to help. It's altruistic, and you're trying to be a good person, a good friend. But as I've learned with myself, if you do anything for free, you're the one undervaluing yourself. I wish that weren't the case, but it seems like it is. Every time that I've gone out of my way to provide a service or a piece of art to someone to help in furthering their own project, I've never got a return in satisfaction of ever seeing them use it. More recently, I made a book cover for another writer that was collecting up their short stories, looking to publish them. And silly me, who's never learned her lesson, I even dabbled in making them a new banner for their social media because they mentioned the need for a rebrand. And no matter how much they said that they loved those pieces and couldn't wait to update their profiles with them, they've never used any of the things that I made for them. Months later. And at this point, obviously, I'm assuming they never will. And that's their right, of course. I can't stress enough that that's their right as a creator to not use help from others just because I willingly gave it. It's like this weird gray area, where it wasn't unsolicited help that I was giving, it was fulfilling a need that was explicitly expressed, but there was also no obligatory transaction involved on the recipient's end. I chose to help my peer, and in that, I have to accept the risk of them not using what I made. I mean, I could be delusional and everything that I make is terrible, and people are just sparing my feelings by acting excited to receive help from me in whatever it is that they're doing, but, I don't know. I don't think I'm that bad, that my track record for successful assists should be 0. So, I don't think it's what I'm offering my friends and fellow creative peers so much as them being unready to accept that help. I am way more eager to provide my assistance than people are to receive and then implement it, which has, in turn, led to a lot of wasted effort on my part. I don't want to say that people in my life don't appreciate the things that I make or do for them, but there is this perception of worth that comes with things gotten for free. If I'm going to supply them with a book cover for free, they don't have a financial incentive to use it. They didn't lose anything in obtaining it, so it loses value. Why use the cover that I made when they could commission another one, and then choose which one was the better fit out of the two? In the end, they can see it as two for the price of one, not one for the price of appreciation. It's kind of crappy, but that's the way that it's turned out for me so far. Every time that I've been asked for help or offered my services because another creative expressed a need, if it's been for free, it's been for nothing. If you're like me and you want to help the people that you care about or see the projects that you're passionate about get the love that they deserve, it's not the end of the world to put your foot down and expect some compensation. Just because it's never a guarantee that someone will end up using whatever it is you put your time into, doesn't mean that you shouldn't at least get something for it. So, ask to get paid. If you don't give things away for free, then there's a lot less to get hurt over. And if they're your peers that see you on mutual ground, if they value your time, if they appreciate you, they'll be happy to pay for what you're doing for them. If you are truly giving value, then you should get value too. That's kind of how friendship works, on a system of respect. As creators, we don't all have a lot of money to be throwing around, so you should be understanding of that, of course. But even if it's a nominal fee, like asking your friend for a favor or hinting that they could be the one to pay for coffees next week, I do still want to stress that you deserve something. If your friend's mentality is set to zero, like they absolutely will not humor the idea of compensating you for the effort that you're going to spend on their project, then you should push back. Adapt that same mindset yourself. Except that now, you are the one who won't humor the idea of your effort being spent without compensation. If everyone is working on a system of good faith and respect, then things should even themselves out in the end anyway. Yes, your author friend had to sacrifice a bit of money to enlist your assistance, but you'll probably just turn around and spend that money to buy their books, because you respect them as a creator as much as they respect you as a helper. That'd be the perfect cycle that I'd expect to see from mutual creators. We've all experienced the age-old scenario where you tell a family member that you've made something and they expect you to give it to them for free. They don't understand how doing so is undermining the value of what you've made because they do something totally different for a living. But I made this video because I'm specifically talking about fellow creators who should know the value of your time and be willing to show it. Because, until we magically obliterate capitalism, nothing in this world is free. Let me know in the comments below if you've had any similar experiences. Do you require payment for favors? And if not, has that ever bit you in the butt like it has me? As always, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support me in this channel, you can find a link to my Ko-fi in the description below. A special thank you to all the current open book supporters. You're the best. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.